Welcome back to the channel. Just a bit of a race review from last weekend's British Championship. So first big race of the season. I raced at Ashton House a few weeks ago, or last month, for the Duathlon for the European qualifiers. Last week I raced Podium 5k up in Leicester, managing to get a sort of V40 PB, 16:18. So really enjoyed that sort of race. But yeah, this weekend just gone, British Championships at Oulton Park, and come home with a nice little bit of bling. So just a bit of a race recap really. Oulton Park's a great venue, up in Cheshire. Raced there a few times now. Raced, I think, a couple of British champs actually have been at Oulton Park, which is a really nice place to race. Obviously closed roads, being a race circuit. So so just wanted to give a bit of a recap on the race. So a good race all in all. Really, I think I was hoping to get on the podium. Still trying to get that sort of top step, but really pleased with the result at the weekend. Going into the race, there was quite a few big hitters in my age category. Unfortunately, a couple of the guys weren't down on the entry list a few weeks out, last minute entries. So Alex Doherty, who entered on I think the last week before the race, he sort of rocked up. And also we had Michael Dempster, who was last year's sort of GB, won the age group last year. So and there's a couple of other guys as well that were pretty handy. So I think for me it was going to be a tall order coming into race week to get onto the podium. I'm running pretty well. I think my riding's going well. It's difficult to, training wise, it's been going well. Difficult to judge race wise. Ashton, I raced pretty well on the bike, I think. Weather conditions weren't great, so I know some of the guys there were taking it a little bit more steady on the bike. So it was a good chance to have a good hit out and see how how the race panned out. So in terms of the race itself, first run, 2-lap run. I think it's about 9.8k. I think it is. It's less than a 10k run, but good hit out. 2 laps. Went out pretty steady, to be honest. Well, the first half mile I felt like I was running pretty steady. It's quite a fast start at Oulton. You sort of a bit of a downhill section to begin with, so always the first mile is always a bit quick. So I just hung off the pace a little bit, and then worked my way back up to the back of the group with Alex Doherty and a few others in that group. So I managed to get onto the back of that group on the first lap. And in fairness, I think I felt pretty good on the first lap. Even though I sort of went off a bit steady, I think actually probably what I did, I probably went off a bit steady. Second half of that first mile, probably picked it up and ran pretty well to get back onto the group, but probably in hindsight maybe just needed to just temper that sort of second half mile. But anyway, I got onto the back of the group. First lap went pretty well. Lost a bit of contact with the group into the second lap, and some of the guys ran away from me quite a bit on that second lap. So not really sure whether I switched off, whether it was just fatigue, whether it was just not having the run form. But I think from the previous week at Podium 5k, I seem to be running pretty well. So first run, I think overall I came in 22nd or something like that, so a little bit down. But again, I think the splits, looking back to last time I raced there, were probably a bit quicker on the run, I think. It was a very windy day as well on last Sunday, so which sort of meant going onto the bike as well. The bike was a tough bike. I think Oulton Park, you get the sense that actually on a racetrack it's going to be pretty comfortable, but actually there's a couple of little inclines on sort of the back half of the second half of the circuit. The last sort of incline as well is always a little bit tough. I think for me, I sort of went out pretty hard onto the bike, got my fluids in pretty early to begin with. So I just run a water bottle on the Factor. I don't have any sort of drink compartment or anything on the front. I've always yeah, never really been fussed about that. So I got the drink down pretty quickly onto the first lap, and then got into a good pace and sort of worked my way through the field. And I think I was riding pretty well, to be fair, passing a few people early on, and sort of working my way back up to Owen James, who had taken a bit of time out of me on the first run, to be fair. So I worked my way back up to Owen and the team. So I sort of got myself up to about 14th, I think, in the end on the bike. So made a good 8 places up over the sort of the bike and from the first run onto the bike. Pretty windy, to be fair, as I said, especially on that sort of back half. Actually, for me, with the power meter, I think on the hills I was riding pretty, not trying to spike the power too much, so trying to stay within a certain sort of parameter on the hills, and not sort of get out the saddle, keeping the aero, and just try and drive up the hills, but try not to go too much into the red zone. I think it's one of the beauties of riding with a power meter. You can really see where that sort of power spikes. So try not to go too hard into those hills, and sort of make the most then of the other sections of the course where it was fast. Make sure I was really getting to the aero position and working hard. So like I said, the bike went really well for me, sort of moving pretty well. Still, I think I'm hopefully going to look to get another session with Matt Bottrell over the next few months, probably after the Europeans now, maybe before I go out to Cumbria for the standard European. I probably won't do it before Powerman in Germany. But yeah, like I said, worked hard on the bike. I felt like I was going well, especially over the first half. Second half, I sort of eased off perhaps just a little bit. Owen and I think it was a guy called Luke. We then sort of, the 3 of us were working quite well, I suppose. Over the second sort of, or the last 2 to 3 laps, we were sort of to-ing and fro-ing. I think Luke and I passed each other a few times, back and forth on the last couple of laps. And then Owen just coming past me as we came into the sort of the transition, but I think I'd taken about a minute or so out of Owen and Luke on the bike to sort of get back up to them. And then the final run, I think something probably need to, not sure whether it's a weakness, but something I probably might need to work on. I came off the bike after riding pretty well, to be fair, pretty hard, and then into the run. The first mile, I seem to sometimes struggle just that initial transition onto the feet. Whether that's just a bit of confidence, not having the confidence to go out and just hit it hard, or whether it's just not doing the bike to run transitions. I think for me, I train a lot of hours at the moment, and it's difficult sometimes to just try and get some of these other sessions in that are probably going to be beneficial. But I think speaking to a few guys, I think maybe doing a bike run type session would be really useful at some point. Maybe just coming into the season as well, maybe just trying to get a few brick runs and stuff in the legs. But yeah, so the first mile, I think Owen came past me, took probably 15-20 seconds out of me, perhaps over that sort of, or maybe might not have been quite that much, but he took a little bit of time out of me over the first mile, and then I seemed to managed to hold my pace then, and sort of increase the pace, I think, into the last mile. But I was running well, felt strong, didn't completely blow up, so I was pretty chuffed with, I think, just the whole race. I think and really I was a bit unsure whether I could sneak a podium place this year, so I was really pleased to come away with the silver in the age group. Alex, who won, was a bit further up the road. I think he was sort of struggling with a bit of cramp on the bike as well, which is not like him. He was running really well, to be fair, but he'd sort of, I think, a few weeks ago had done a sub 34 over 10k, so I knew he was in quite good run form. So yeah, there's no chance I was getting back up to him on the bike anyway. But in all, I'm really pleased with the silver medal. Form was looking good, felt strong, felt like the bike was really working well. I think the bike split might not have been my quickest there, but I think the weather conditions were were not ideal at the weekend, really windy. So all in all, really pleased. And I think as well, luckily I had Louise and my father-in-law and mother-in-law came out to watch as well. So it was really great to have Louise shouting me on, cheering me on, also getting some good race footage as well, which was at the start of this video. So I was really chuffed to have the family there as well, and actually raced pretty well in front of them as well. It's difficult sometimes for them to come out and watch the races, so really chuffed that they were able to watch me race, also for Louise to see me get on the podium as well. So really excited that I could put a good result together for them. So next up for me now, I've got a 5k Cheshire 5k hopefully in a few weeks, and that's the week before Powerman Germany. So we're driving out there. Quite a few of the guys that I raced with and some of the ladies as well are all going out there. A lot of people opted to drive. I think maybe because it's sort of 4 hours the other side. It's not a tough trip really from the UK over to Germany. So yeah, that'd be a good weekend to hopefully get a good result. Fingers crossed I can just keep this form now into that race, and then move on then into Portugal in June for the standard European. So two big targets this year with Powerman and the standard distance. So fingers crossed. Just got to tick off the sessions, keep the momentum going now, and hopefully get some rewards later on in the year. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'm hopefully going to be putting up some more videos soon on my new winter bike as well, which I purchased about a month ago. So just been using that recently, so I'm going to do a little bit of video on the new winter bike, and how that's been sort of working out for me. So like and subscribe as I said, and I'll see you all on the start line soon.